Welcome to M Talks, everybody. This is Nikhil.
This is Bibin and Nikhil here.
How's it going, bro? How's your week?
Doing great.
You surviving the cold?
Yeah, I know. The cold is crazy. New York, New Jersey, Canada, it's all like a frozen.
It's pretty bad.
And we're supposed to be at shooting this episode at Canada today.
Yeah.
But due to some weather problem, we rescheduled the appointments or we rescheduled the meeting. So people who listening from Canada,
please forgive us.
Forgive us. We're supposed to be at Canada today. So we have a few events scheduled at Canada. So we'll be doing like a business presentation there. But everything got rescheduled. A lot of snow in Buffalo. It's hard to cross the border.
Yeah, it was just dangerous to drive because we don't want to be stuck in this kind of freezing temperatures.
I know.
I think the highest over there is like 9 degrees or something, 10 degrees. But anyways, we'll be there next week.
Yeah, next weekend we'll be at Canada and Ontario like a headquarters. We'll be having some sessions there.
Yeah.
And we'll meet there. And how's everything else going? How was the last episode, Nikhil? Any comments on last episode? I got a lot of comments.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
That's awesome. No, I was just like the whole time just listening and surprised, And Rory kind of talked about a couple of things that were like, gave me like a good perspective on it. One of the most important things that he kind of touched upon was, based on his book, was like the wealth is in your mind, right? Like your body and your mind has to be wealthy for you to really be wealthy. You know what I mean? Like
right.
There's an aspect of spirituality and physicality that has to be at a certain space.
Mind and body need to align with the wealth for you to be wealthy.
Exactly, yeah. Which is one of the big things I got out of it. How about you? What did you think about it?
No, that was the energy of him, like a crazy energy. Like he's actually a crowd puller.
Yeah.
And the topics he putting out there. You remember what he closed with the Nike mentality, like just do it.
Yeah.
The action is the key. That's what simply says. Like you can read books, get the idea, write down things, but if there's no action, there's no point of writing down anything out there. So the action is the key. So that's how we ended up. And pick up the action, design your plans. I mean, write down the goals first. And develop the plans and execute the plan, and execution will be the key point.
Yeah.
And majority of the people is actually failing on
the execution
aspects, right? So that's why the success, even though they're like positive-minded people, but positive-minded people is actually, or the positive mind itself, it's actually becoming a trap for majority of the people because of the lack of execution.
The reality is this, right? The positivity in this business will only take you so much.
Correct.
If you're not putting any action behind that positivity, you're not going to have a feedback loop where you're seeing productivity. If you don't have productivity that is like in tune with your positivity, you start being kind of pessimistic.
Exactly.
And that's going to make you not want to do this anymore, because then you're going to start looking at exits and you're going to ask yourself, like, is this what I should be doing? And, just a lot of self-doubt starts creeping in. But the way, like you said, the way you build productivity is by taking actions. And I think that's a very important thing. And so like this week I was listening to this this business guy. His name is Alex Hormozy. Everybody should check out one of those videos that I was listening to. It's pretty good, especially if you're in the sales side of things. But he was just basically talking about how like there are certain things that are just basic, like just shaking of hands and smiling when you meet someone, or like looking at someone when you're talking to them. Like some of these basic things that we kind of
posture,
yeah, all of those things we kind of not avoid, but we just take it for granted. And so we kind of like move away from it. We kind of look distracted, and there are all these things that add up to feeling frustrated, because these behaviors that you have lead you to not being confident, and then not having confidence.
Dress up right, stand up right.
If you dress up right in the sense like, listen, I don't care how I look. Obviously you have to look the part for anything that you're doing, and so there's a confidence that's being developed when you're doing these basic things.
And you can think yourself, when you dress up nice, then the confidence level will be elevated.
Right.
So when you present yourself outside, your confidence has to be there in the higher level, and the posture, of course, matters. And the person opposite side of you, like what you observing actually, they read you 100%. If you are doubtful, that's what you're getting back. If you are confident, that's what you're getting back. So whatever you putting out there, it's rebounding towards you.
Yeah, in the sense that just to compound on that, it's like when you're confident and you're talking about when you're in sales and you're confident, the person you're selling to understands that, oh, this is a person who knows what he's talking about. So there's a trust that is developing
exactly
as they see your confidence. We're not talking about being cocky or anything like that, but to build that confidence, there are like these small actions that you have to do, right? Developing these looking at someone and shaking their hands and being,
give a strong shake hand.
Yeah,
I always, this is my personal experience. Like I always remember who does a strong shake hand.
Oh, so that's why you remember me from when we first met.
Oh yeah. I do remember, for real. Like I do remember people who does.
For sure.
Strong shake hand.
Yeah, there's some people that I've met, that you get a shake hand from them, and it's like, geez, I feel like I'm not a man. Like these guys are so like firm in their in their shakes and stuff.
I'll give an idea. Like I sometimes when I was like about to shake someone's hand, even before you process your thought, you just give your regular normal shake hand. Then I process. Oh shoot, it's supposed to be with strong.
Strong, yeah.
So it's automatically supposed to come, right? And the person who against you, like actually giving a strong shake, and then you feel like, oh shoot, I'm supposed to be giving the strong one.
Yeah, I mean that's one of it. The other thing that I got from this particular.
Remember, Rory was mentioning in the first one was initially was the request.
I brought it up like the power of the ask. Yeah.
Power of ask is always any business, especially you're dealing with the people, anything in related with the sales. The power of ask is actually, or follow up is actually one of the key factors that. I was hearing to someone like a couple months back, saying every single closing happening after 7th to 12th follow-ups. 80% of the closing happening on from 7th to 12th follow-up.
Yeah.
Usually people does about up to 5 follow-ups, then they give up. Fade out.
No, that's the same thing in real estate too.
Like
all the real estate, all the successful real estate.
It's not only for sales though, it's generally.
Generally, yeah, but and that's, you're in the financial business, I'm in the real estate business. The following up is one of the biggest things you can do. You would come off looking desperate sometimes to some people, but they're gonna remember you because you're the guy who's following up. You're the guy who's calling and finding out if they're ready or if they need any help, And there's obviously ways to do this and all that, and scripts to learn when you speak to these people, speak to people from a sales perspective. But which is another important thing: learning scripts and practicing your scripts and learning how to speak. But I
remember when I got here this country, right? So I was applying for a nurse position in a hospital, nearby hospital. And I talked to the director, and she said like there's no opening right now, but we'll let you know soon. And my wife was actually saying it's okay to follow up. There's nothing harmful. So we did like multiple times visit to her, like I go to her, talk to her. And so third time she remembered my name. Michael, I know, I remember you. Like, so she called my name. And after 2 more visits later, she got an opening. So first call was to me.
Yeah.
So it's like, putting people's mind, your face or your name, that's the follow-up is the key.
Yeah.
Like if anything need to get done through them, they have to remember you. That's the key. Especially if you're in the market and the business, that is the follow-up will be the key. So how to do follow-up? It's actually, that's an art. We have to learn it properly. The reason because we cannot annoy people. So we can, without disturbing or without making direct follow-up, you have to learn how to do follow-up. Yeah. That is the key. And that actually an art to learn. And of course, there's a lot of.
That's so funny you said learn. Like in being in sales, there are like 3 things I think that's like paramount. Learning. You gotta learn all these things. Like all these things that you think you know, that you think you are like because it's just normal. Like it's supposed to be part of your regular behavior. If you think you know it, but when you go into a sales environment, you realize you get like there's that shock aspect of it, right? Like you get surprised, you're like or you get overwhelmed because I'm in a space where I'm trying to sell something. These people are not like me, this and that. There's an aspect of learning that kind of, if you focus on learning these different skills and putting time in yourself, like as part of your personal development thing, that just spending that time will eliminate a lot of those hiccups and roadblocks that you create for yourself when you're in those environments. So learning you have to constantly learn. People think like sales, you don't have to like learn, but sales is constantly learning. No, I'm not just talking about learning about your products, and obviously you have to be an expert on the products that you're selling. But at the same time, you have to be an expert on yourself, like in the sense of like from a personal development sense, you have to know like, all right, in this situation, I've learned that I need to speak this way, right? Or walk this way, or talk this way, or dress up this way. Like those are all learning aspects. So that's a very important thing.
It's a good thing you mentioned learning, right? So it's like a continuous course correction. Like a constant course correction is the key. Like you have to learn and always correct yourself. And the key point, Nikhil, you mentioned was invest yourself. Invest yourself is the key.
Investing in yourself.
In yourself is the key. The reality is actually people, especially entrepreneurs, right, coming into a different world, want to be an entrepreneur, like learning a lot of things, and what they always forget or always they miss out is actually investing in yourself. So upgrade yourself is the key. How much, like when you look around, what I'm actually missing right now, that I'm actually busy with my building business. So I'm like into business like a lot right now.
Yeah.
So what I'm missing out, I'm actually buying back my time to invest in myself, right?
Yeah.
So it's like that is a key point, like an initial stage of like entrepreneurship. Like the majority of the time you will be investing yourself to be prepared. So equip yourself, harness yourself, all those things. So reading books is one of the wonderful tool to invest yourself with a huge knowledge. Podcast, reading or listening, a lot of things.
Attending masterminds and conferences, which is why I think especially in the financial services business, that's a thing that it doesn't matter what brand or what company it is. Everybody has like these like semi-annual conferences, right? Like
exactly. So that is the whole point of it.
It's all about realigning. It's all about getting recharged. It's all about networking, right? Going. It's forcing you to get out of your comfort zone and talk to people that you don't know, right?
Remember, you remember? I mean, you do listen to Paul Dudek, like
Paul Dietrich?
Paul Dudek's talk over there on the Florida.
No.
When we were there in Florida.
No.
Remember that guy was like sitting on the bench when we were outside the airport.
Uh-huh.
So he is like going crazy. Like he's like going crazy on the market. Like how market is. And he's the one who actually predicted like a 2000 and 2008 crash, like 2 years before.
Yeah, I mean, I think he's known to have got his clients reduce the loss that his clients
actually on the first one, 2000, his clients was making money, and the second one
he reduced the losses.
Yeah. So it was like it's a phenomenal, and he was talking about the market this time, like, and able to meet these guys and listen to them is a key. Like how we can upgrade this, all the things, like that's one reason. You see like a corporate world or in the business world, people are attending conventions or seminars. So these all things like very useful, and especially if you're coming into or stepping into entrepreneurship, like that's investing in yourself will be like initial 50 to 60% the initial thing.
Yeah, I mean, definitely. That will instill a confidence in you, that will instill a thick skin when it comes to like rejection, right?
Yeah.
It'll give you the confidence to kind of break the invisible like wall, right?
The reason, because about 90% population falling into employee self-employed category, right? And they've been all these years comfort zone. We've been raised for to get a job, and we all seen employees, and we were in a comfort zone. We know our skill, we learn a skill, and right after that we start trading our skill. As long as you trade your skill, you will make money. And that is the comfort zone we've been all these years. Then suddenly we coming into a business and we building your own entrepreneurship. Like you're gonna face a lot of things for sure, right? It's not like you only learn one skill and trade that forever. No, that's called employment. So when you come into entrepreneurship, like you'll be doing multiple things at the same time.
Yeah.
So a lot of like rejections is like a wonderful thing.
Yeah.
That you will face in this world. But harming and harnessing yourself with proper equipments will be the key.
Yeah.
So investing yourself is the ultimate thing when you're looking forward to become an entrepreneur. And or it says anything, right? Anything related with you will be actively connecting with the people. So basically, those are the area would like to emphasize, and thanks so much to Rory Douglas again. The session was very powerful. And he does touch a lot of people. Like he works with the community.
He's been doing this for a while.
Yeah.
So like
education.
He's learned a lot. So now he's teaching others. Like that's why his whole thing, even in his business his whole business, like how do you call it? Like the way he gets people like to buy from him is by educating people, right? Like that's what he was talking about. Like I don't go in there trying to sell a product. I go in there trying to educate my community on financial health and financial freedom.
Correct.
And just like setting up your goals and trust and all these
if you look
things.
at it, like sales won't work in finance. That is absolutely true, because not a lot of people out there not well educated deeply in the financial sector. So to that population, you go out there and sell products, it's kind of like a waste of time. It's not going to happen. That's why the education will be the key. So let them make them knowledgeable, and if they need it, they will purchase.
Yeah.
So
and most people need it. Most people.
100% people need it.
That's true. Yeah.
Especially this country, or without those proper planning or proper services, it's a waste of time, because when you need it, when you realize you need it, it's not available. So the actual time we missed out.
Right.
So that's why getting into the picture right time is the key. The timing and the information what matters.
Yeah. So like Rory said, just do it, right? Like.
Yep. Just do it. Equip yourself with the proper harness and be there in the field. Just do it.
It's the right time right now for everybody to work on themselves, right? It's the winter. It's the time where you're going to be sitting at home the most, because of weather and stuff like that. So, if you're... Another thing is, like, for me, is fighting boredom, right? Like, I'm constantly looking to be gratified, instant gratification, right? Like, I grew up with, we all grew up with TVs and phones and games and this and that, and so it's very hard to like unlearn some of these things, like to delay your gratification of some of these things. Like, if you tell me, like, oh, Nick, just spend like 20 minutes learning, I'll like to do that. It's a big mental what do you call it, burden, because it's just like, man, I would rather go watch TV, that favorite show that I'm watching. You know what I mean?
Right.
So like, obviously, that's like another thing that people like. And this, by the way, but this entire podcast is to like, obviously it's for everybody, but especially like our community of entrepreneurs that listen to us, like, that are in our line of business, that are part of our team. Like, we appreciate you guys supporting us, but I thought there was a good thing to kind of tie in. Like, there are certain things that we all kind of get stuck off and we get dejected on. It slows down our our inertia, or not inertia, but like our passion, right? Because we're not seeing productivity, or
of course. Like, productivity is one of the key to get energized, and if you don't see it, you automatically fade down. You come down. So,
and for that, and in that sense, like in our business, in this particular business, what that looks like is constantly, going outside of your comfort zone and making appointments and doing FNAs and stuff like that. That's what it looks like in our business. If it was in a different business, it's about maybe going to, let's say, if it's like a product, like someone that's selling a product, right? Just a regular, like their business is buying and selling products. Then for them, it's like going to trade shows, learning about different products that they can bring into the market. Like, but you have to put in that effort, and you have to keep doing that, and keep trying and keep at it until...
Yeah, so you have to bring out or come out with the quality.
Yeah.
So whatever you're doing, you have to bring out the best of yourself. So investing you will be the key, and how, and it purely depends on what kind of business you are in.
Right.
So find the right thing and invest time for yourself, and harness yourself with the proper equipments will be the key.
Absolutely.
So just do it, and you can do it.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.